Grass, fire, and water, the three main elements of Pokemon. Now in any typical Pokemon game, these are your starters, the types you're going to run into the most throughout the game. Now how do you go about protecting your favorite Pokemon cards from these elements? So that's exactly what we're going to find out today. So I was thinking, I'm like, man, I have a lot of nice expensive Pokemon cards here. This Giratina alternate art specifically goes for around $400 Canadian. A hefty price to pay for a Pokemon card. And now these cards, you don't want to just like leave them out lying around, you want to protect them pretty good. So that's why I started to think, I'm like, man, what way is definitely the best to protect your Pokemon cards? So right now this Giratina is obviously double sleeved and it resides most of its time in my binder, but there's obviously some other ways to display your Pokemon and store them safely. So I thought today, why not test to see which one is actually the best? So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be testing 5 different storage methods of Pokemon cards, or protection methods, to see which one truly is the best. And we're going to be testing them against the 3 main types I mentioned, fire, water, and grass, to see which one fares the best and which one is the best for protecting your card. And to meet our contestants today, I guess, so the first one is obviously going to be the card with no protection. Raw Pokemon card, nothing's fancy about it. We're just going to see how the basics, card unsleeved is going to fare. Then we'll go up a little bit, we'll move on to a penny sleeve here. This one's not that expensive, but it's a good method to keep your Pokemon cards relatively safe and clean. And then going one step up, we'll move on to a full sleeve, a hard sleeve, I guess. It's just a little more durable. A lot of people use these all kind of ultra post sleeves, I guess would be the best way to describe them. And then going one step up from that, obviously, is a top loader. Now, top loader is obviously pretty hard edges. They're not going to let your cards get scratched up. So it's definitely a solid method to test, but we'll see, if this one really does fare the best. And then I thought, I'm like, well, a little more of an unconventional method, but something that would definitely still be really, really cool to test out. How would a mini tin fare? I mean, it's the perfect size to fit exactly a card into. I mean, you could definitely I'll put my Glaceon alternate art, fits right into there, It's definitely a perfect size for it, but is it really the best method of protection? With that, let's get outside and let's field test these protection methods. Alright, and let's take a look at our contestants, all of the cards and their different protection methods. Let's start off with the raw Pikachu. In the water it goes, sinking right to the bottom. So definitely not a good start for the no sleeve Pikachu, but I guess we can kind of pull it out, and let's check the damage on this one using our handy dandy claws in here to make sure we don't get wet. But let's pull this one out, and yeah, as you can see, it's pretty soggy. There's not a lot of good things to say about it. The card is not very good. Wet edges, it's gonna be a little bit scuffed on the back as well. But yeah, let's move on to Emolga here in the perfect fit penny sleeve. Dropping that one in, and it does have float a little bit, which is surprising. I thought this one would kind of sink, but yeah, it does float at the top, so maybe that's a good sign. But let's grab our claws, pull this one out of this, and pray, and hopefully the Emolga is fine. And from first glances, it actually looks pretty good. The edge on the top is a little bit wet, but other than that, I think the card is pretty good. And now onto our Pikachu card in the Pokemon sleeve. We're going to be using the Fusion Strike sleeve for this one. And let's send this one in the pool, and it does flow as well, similar to the penny sleeve. But I do push it down, and it's going to kind of still float around there, so a good sign potentially. And we're going to pull this one out. Hopefully the Pikachu in here is going to be alright. The sleeves seem pretty sealed tight, so that's a good sign, but let's pull this one out. And yeah, I mean, the top on this one definitely looks a lot more soaked than the other one did, but pretty good. And now for our top loader here. So our top loader is definitely going to be the interesting one, and it sinks right to the bottom. Definitely not floating as much as the other two, and I'm kind of thinking some water damage might have occurred for this one. We're going to pull this one out and see, though, give it a couple taps, and hopefully this thing comes out all right. But yeah, I don't know. This isn't looking good. A lot of water looked like it got in there, but I mean, the edge does look a little bit better on the top than the other one, but yeah, definitely some water damage for sure in the top loader. Not as good as the penny sleeve. And then our mini tin here to finish us off with. Now, on initial glance, you probably would think that this one would fare the best, and I kind of did too, but apparently these aren't as watertight as I thought they would be, so I did give it a little push down here, and as you can see, as soon as I did, the water filled it completely, and yeah, let's just say the card didn't end up as good as I thought it would, and yeah, it took on a wee bit of water damage for sure. But pulling this one out of here, Yeah, definitely not a viable method if you're going swimming at the beach, but yeah, one for sure. All right, guys, so we have made it to an undisclosed grassy area to represent our grass-type Pokemon, obviously. So I have the cards here with all the different protections and sleeves, and just to add a little bit of fun to the mix, I grabbed this giant rock that I'm going to drop on them too once I drop them in the dirt. So let's get into it. All right, so you might be walking around with your favorite Pokemon card in hand, and then all of a sudden you drop it. And, that might not be that bad, but then a sudden boulder comes and crushes the card. Well, there's a lot. Look at the damage on there. Dirty.
Nate, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look that bad.
You're right. Oh no, it got smashed and bent. You can't sell this for a profit. And with all the dirt on the back too, this card's practically destroyed. Alright, so let's try this again with a penny sleeve. It's a little bit more protection for our cards, but is it enough to withstand the Rock of Doom and the grassy knoll? Alright, so we're walking around with our favorite card, and oh, it falls right there. And then, oh no, a boulder! We're gonna have to redo that. I missed the grassy knoll. Alright, so, oh no, it lands in the grassy knoll, and then, oh no, a boulder! I don't think the penny sleeve worked too good, Tristan.
No, I don't think so either. That poor Emolga.
Well, let's pull it out and see if this card is sound.
Yeah, we're gonna pick that up. We're gonna pick that up. Sorry.
But anyways, this one here is clearly the penny sleeve didn't do the trick. Alright, so our next one here, we're going to be using one of the Pokemon provided sleeves with the little Vulpix from Silver Tempest here. I think this might fare a little bit better against the Rock of Doom, guys. I don't know, but maybe. So, again, we're walking along, la-di-da. Oh no, I dropped my card. And then boom, a rock came along. That wasn't good again.
It looks okay.
Does it?
Throw it again.
I think this one actually... Alright, so the blunt force trauma definitely took its bent on the card, but the holofoil is quite intact on there, guys. I think this sleeve bears most of the damage and protects. I mean it's a little bit bent, but every card's a little bit bent these days. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a 9.
It's a 9 in PSA, I say. And now we're getting heavy duty. This is a top loader here, which is meant to take a lot of force. You can really bend this thing, punch it a couple times. The card's nothing's happening to the card. We're walking along the grassy knoll. We drop the card, and then all of a sudden a boulder falls. Ooh, guys, I think we found our winner. It's, again, it took a little bit of blunt force trauma, but as the top loader is... Okay, so a little bit bent, but it took a big blast, but definitely, I mean, again, the top loader tanks most of the damage on this one, so, what, a PSA 9?
Honestly? No, wait, the last one was a 9, I'd give this a 10.
I give this one a 10 too, guys. I think the little scuffs will buff out there. I think the little bump on the back is not, it's not too bad, but I say top loader is definitely the way to go. So now we've loaded our holographic Pikachu from Pokemon Go into our safety tin. Now I think this one is definitely going to be able to bear some of the blunt force trauma from the Rock of Doom. So again, for the last time, same scenario, we come along, we're walking, we drop our tin, and then all of a sudden, I'll back up for this one. Ready? The Rock of Doom comes along and impales our tin.
I need to get a shovel.
Ooh, that's Rock of Doom had a little more punch to it than the last time. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna get this open. Wait a second. Oh my god, I think the card's actually perfect. I don't know how. Wow. I don't know. Somehow, some way, like that tin got mangled. Like look how dented it is. I can't stop laughing. Like, the tin is destroyed, but the Pikachu is completely intact. Like, this is, like, all jokes aside and my dirty fingers touching it, this is, like, probably a good grade for PSA. It's all in good faith to keep our cards safe, right? So now, everyone, time for our final test of the day, fire. And as you can see, we got a good campfire going here to test. We're gonna start off with our Pikachu card with no sleeve in here, and to be honest, I'm not expecting great things. We're gonna throw this one in the fire and hope it doesn't get burned alive too bad, because just on initial glance, these cardboard Pokemon cards and fire probably aren't going to be the best mix, but that's what we're here to test today, guys. We're here to test what can be the best, and on initial glance, the card here is definitely been scored a little bit. Not too bad, I would say. Still playable. I think you could still pull this one out and potentially manage a trade for it, but yeah, it has seen a little bit of wear and tear for sure. And now on to our Emolga here in the Perfect Fit sleeve. We're going to throw this one into the Fire of Doom, the Fire of Charizard potentially, and then we're going to see if this penny sleeve can truly protect our Pokemon card from some big fire-type Pokemon's flames, you know, and we're going to let this one cook a little bit, and as you can see, it's starting to light on fire, and good things are not happening for this penny sleeve, and I'm pretty sure as you keep watching here, some more bad stuff's gonna happen, and yeah, this is just getting, and there it goes, and the penny sleeve is now entirely on fire, and the card is burning completely, and if you can see right here, there is not much card left to play with, but yeah, maybe we're not using penny sleeves to protect our cards from fire from here on out. And now on to our Pokemon sleeve. We're going to throw this one into the fire, and we're just going to let it sit there for a little bit. Maybe, as you can see, it's actually starting to like almost blister and bubble around because of the plastic on there too, but yeah, it's going to not fare too well from the looks of things, and even if the penny sleeve is any indication, and yeah, as you can see, this one bears a similar fate, on fire for sure, but a little bit unfortunate. And now on to one that I think has a good shot. I think the top loader here is going to have a good amount of success in the fire, just because of how thick it is, and I'm kind of hoping it just doesn't get burned too bad. But as you can see, the fire is practically melting the plastic within there. It's not holding up too great, but I guess we can pull this one out and see what it looks like. And actually, in all fairness, the card itself doesn't look too bad, but yeah, the top loader definitely is burnt. And our last one for the day is going to be the mini tin, and I'm going to let this one just kind of sit in here and cook, because I honestly have good thoughts for this one. I think this one's going to fare pretty well. I mean, they can't get that hot in that tin, right, guys? I mean, it's just going to... The card in there should be alright. I mean, look, the tin's doing pretty well right now. I mean, oh, it's actually getting worse and worse. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, guys, let's pull this one out and let it cool down for a second before we crack it open. And obviously now it has cooled down, and let's see what's kind of in here. I'm hoping the card's kind of fine, but as we pop this open, come on, can we get it open here? Oh. Well, that's definitely not good. Not good at all. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video with me testing out a bunch of different sleeves and methods of card protection to see which one would fare the best in some pretty extreme circumstances, I'll give you that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.